If you are honest with yourself for a moment and think about what you actually eat in a normal week, not what you say when someone asks, but the real plates and boxes and packets in front of you, you might realize that vegetables show up less than you want to admit, or maybe they barely show up at all. Maybe they are just a sad piece of lettuce in a burger or a few onions in your pizza. And you tell yourself that counts, but deep down, you know that your diet is mostly bread. Rice, meat, cheese, sauces, snacks, sugary drinks, and fast food. And vegetables are like that one friend you keep promising to meet soon, but never actually call. At first, it doesn't feel like a big deal. You are not collapsing. You can walk, you can work, you can laugh.
Ow.
So you assume your body is fine with living on whatever tastes good and fills you up quickly. You might even say things like, "I hate vegetables," or "vegetables are boring," and joke about it as if it's just part of your personality.
Ow.
But your body's not laughing. It is quietly trying to run a complex machine without some of its most basic tools. Forced to deal with the consequences of a diet where vegetables are missing day after day, month after month, sometimes year after year. Imagine that your body is like a huge city with millions of tiny workers, and vegetables are like the daily deliveries of tools, spare parts, and cleaning teams that keep everything running. When you stop those deliveries, the city doesn't fall apart immediately. But little problems begin to appear, small cracks in the roads, dust in the air, broken lights that never get fixed, traffic that moves slower, and although life goes on, it becomes rougher and less efficient. That's what happens inside you when you never eat or rarely eat vegetables. One of the first places you may feel it is in your digestion, even if you don't connect the dots. Vegetables are one of the main sources of fiber. It's the part of food that your body cannot fully digest, but absolutely needs to keep your digestive system moving. Without enough fiber, your intestines have to push food remnants through with less help. Like trying to move dry, sticky dough through a pipe instead of a smooth mixture, you might start to struggle with constipation, feeling bloated, heavy, or uncomfortable. Sitting on the toilet longer than you want to, pushing harder than you should, finishing and still feeling like you didn't fully empty. You might notice that you don't go as often, or that when you do, it's hard and painful. Instead of thinking maybe my body needs more fiber and water, you might blame it on stress or a weak stomach, or just learn to live with it. But your gut knows that something important is missing from your daily meals. This sluggish digestion can affect how you feel all day. You carry a fullness, pressure, a tiredness in your stomach and gut that weighs you down and quietly steals your energy. At the same time, vegetables are some of the richest sources of vitamins, minerals, and plant compounds that your body uses for everything from skin repair to immunity to brain function. When you live on a diet mostly made of refined foods and animal products with almost no vegetables, you are like someone trying to fix and maintain a car using only fuel and duct tape, but no proper tools. No replacement parts, no cleaning. You might get some of what you need from other foods, but the variety and concentration found in vegetables is hard to replace. Over time, lacking those nutrients can show up on your face and in your energy long before a doctor ever writes it on paper. You might notice your skin looking dull, a bit more gray or yellow instead of bright and fresh. Pimples might hang around longer or appear more often. Small wounds or acne marks may take longer to fade. Dark circles under your eyes might deepen, and you might feel like you look tired even on days when you slept enough. You see influencers or people with glowing skin and think it's all about expensive creams and filters, but a lot of that glow comes from what their bodies are getting every day from real food, especially plants. Without enough vegetables, your immune system can also feel weaker. Maybe you are that person who always seems to catch whatever cold or flu is going around, or you feel like you're always a little sick, always fighting something, always almost okay, but never fully strong. You might chalk it up to bad luck, but your body relies on a constant supply of vitamins, antioxidants, and other compounds that are especially abundant in vegetables to build its defenses. When you skip them for months and years, your army is fighting with old shields and blunt swords. You don't see that from the outside. You just feel the result as more frequent illnesses, slower recovery. and a general sense that your body doesn't bounce back like it should. Meanwhile, the way you eat without vegetables often brings along other problems. Meals with no vegetables are usually heavier in refined carbs, unhealthy fats, and salt. A plate of just white rice and meat, a burger and fries, pizza and soda, instant noodles, packaged snacks. These meals may fill your stomach, but don't keep you full in the same stable. Balanced way that a fiber-rich, vegetable-filled meal does. You might find yourself hungry again soon after eating, craving more snacks, especially sugary or salty ones. Over time, those extra calories that bring little nutrition can slowly collect around your waist, on your belly, on your thighs, and even inside around your organs. You look in the mirror and see that your clothes fit tighter. Your outline is softer, your energy is lower, and you tell yourself you just have a slow metabolism or bad genes. But part of the story is that your meals are too often missing the low-calorie, high-nutrient, high-fiber volume that vegetables provide. Without vegetables, managing a healthy weight becomes much harder, because you are constantly fighting a losing battle between hunger and empty calories. Vegetables help stretch your meals without stretching your calorie count so much. When you remove them, every plate becomes more dense, more energy-rich, but not more satisfying for your body in the long term. Your mood and brain can also feel the absence in ways that are confusing if no one ever explains it. Your brain doesn't just run on sugar and caffeine. It depends on a whole orchestra of nutrients to produce the chemicals that affect your mood, calm, focus, and motivation. When your diet is narrow and low in vegetables, you might feel more easily irritated, more foggy, more unmotivated, more up and down in your moods. You may find it harder to concentrate for long periods, or feel tired in your head, even if you haven't done much. You might try to solve this with more coffee, more energy drinks, more sugar. That only slaps a bandage on the symptom without giving your brain what it truly needs. A long-term vegetable drought in your diet can subtly starve your brain of what it needs to feel balanced and sharp. There is also the future version of you to think about. The one you can't see now, but who will have to live with the long-term consequences of today's habits. A pattern of low vegetables and high processed foods over many years can increase risks for serious health problems later in life. Because your body lacks the protective compounds that help guard your cells, your heart, your blood vessels, and your digestion from slow, quiet damage, right now, it might feel like that's future use problem, especially if you're young, but the foundation is being laid now. In the everyday choice to ignore or include vegetables on your plate, beyond the physical, there is also something emotional and psychological about always running away from vegetables. It's as if a part of you knows what's good for you, but you keep choosing what is easy, instant, and extreme in taste. You tell yourself, I just don't like them, as if your taste is fixed forever. But taste is something your brain learns over time. If you grow up only eating heavily salted, fried, and sweet foods, then of course plain or lightly seasoned vegetables will taste boring or even disgusting at first. Your tongue is used to fireworks, and you're offering it candles. But if you give yourself time, if you slowly introduce more vegetables in different forms, cooked in ways you actually might enjoy, your taste buds can adjust. What once felt bland can start to feel fresh. What once tasted bitter can become tolerable. And one day, you might even crave the crunch of cucumber, the sweetness of carrots, the richness of roasted vegetables, the comfort of a warm, seasoned vegetable curry or stir-fry. The idea that you hate all vegetables is rarely the full truth. Often it means I never gave myself a real, patient chance to get used to them. When you live a life with almost no vegetables, you are constantly trying to run your body on fast fuel without ever giving it long-term protection and maintenance. Over time, things feel off. Your digestion, your energy, your skin, your mood, your weight, your immunity. You might hop from diet to diet, from one extreme plan to another, looking for some magical fix, but one of the simplest, unglamorous answers is sitting quietly on the side of every balanced plate: vegetables. The beautiful thing is that your body is incredibly forgiving. Even if you've spent years pushing vegetables away, it does not hold a grudge. The moment you start to bring them back, even in small amounts, your body begins to respond. Maybe you add a small salad to one meal a day or throw some vegetables into your noodles. Or eat a handful of raw veggies as a snack instead of chips once in a while. Maybe you learn one simple vegetable recipe you actually like and make it twice a week. These changes don't look dramatic on social media, but inside your digestion gets a little help. Your blood gets a bit more of what it needs. Your cells receive more of the quiet protection they've been missing. You may notice that your bowel movements become more regular and comfortable. Your belly feels less heavy, your energy during the day is more stable. Your cravings calm down slightly, your skin looks a tiny bit fresher in the morning. Over months, small improvements can add up in ways you didn't expect. Suddenly, climbing stairs feels easier. Your immune system holds up better during flu season. Your mood feels less like a roller coaster. You realize that vegetables are not a punishment or a boring obligation. They are a form of respect you show your own body. What happens if you never eat vegetables is not an instant disaster, which is why it's so easy to ignore, but a slow fading of your inner strength. A quiet lowering of your baseline where normal becomes tired, bloated, breakouts, low energy, constant cravings, and a feeling that your body is always a little behind. What happens if you decide, starting today, to stop treating vegetables like an enemy and start treating them like allies, even in small, imperfect steps? Is that you begin to give your body what it has been waiting for all along: real, living food that doesn't just fill space in your stomach but actually helps you build a stronger, clearer, more energized version of yourself from the inside out.